Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. Realtors could be calling you back for their commissions. This video is about pre-construction and what is actually happening currently in the market. So I have a couple of slides that I would like to share with you and my personal story why I'm saying this. So some of these realtors have been dealing behind the scenes with their commissions and with their buyers, and now it's the time for the payback. So how will this look like and how you will be involved? Stay tuned and you will find out. So the first, I will put these slides up on the screen so you can have a better sense and you can actually read them yourself. This is from the blog Real Estate. Even more housing developments in the GTA have gone into receivership. So what this means, they went bankrupt, they went belly up, they're trying to find a solution for someone else to take that particular project so they can finish that. So many of these in our city of Toronto, GTA, surroundings and all of that stuff are going into receivership, or they're just going belly up, they're bankrupt altogether. So when it's come to the commissions, so how it works, number one, why are the commissions higher when it comes to pre-construction than the regular resale? So there are many reasons, but one of them, it is harder to do pre-construction overall. I will not include that period of time that we went through in the few years that we just had. It was going nuts altogether. But if we exclude this particular time, it is harder because a realtor has to do more aggressive marketing. They have to find these buyers. These buyers, they have to buy off of blueprint or not seeing the finished product. It is always harder, right? So you're dealing with more investors and whatnot. So moving on further, condo developers are having a tougher time moving units in Toronto ever as the market for the housing type completely flops. So this is also from blog TO. It's already, but it's funny, at the bottom commented, hardly anyone in the building or buying condos in Toronto anymore as market flops, which means some of these buyers are not, especially investors, they're not in the mood to buy some of these units that are overpriced, and it seems like that the units are getting smaller and they're getting more expensive, right? So even for investors, we found that it's extremely hard and tough to find these units that will either cash flow or make sense, right? So moving on. The developers behind projects on the addresses of 10475 Heritage Road and 11258 Torham Road in the GTA city own over 90 million. So as you can see, that like one project keeps pushing another projects and they keep flopping like dominoes. They keep flopping. It also has been the case of 3 condo projects in downtown Toronto, including the famous D1 Young and Bloor. That project was stunning, amazing, but it went belly up. Projects built in Vaughan, Ajax, Barrie, Peterborough, Kitchener, Mississauga, and Mall in Markham, and more are definitely coming down the pipeline. So some of these we are already hitting the records, but I brought up that commissions and why your realtor might call you back, right? So if you did monkey business, now the monkey will come out of the bag, and I will let you know in a second exactly what I mean. But I just want to read this article to you from Toronto Star. It says developers offering special incentives to buyers as demand for new condo in Toronto continues to plummet. I mean, this is normal. We see it in many cases, but if the market is harder and tighter, obviously also the developers builders, sellers, they have to get more creative in order to sell these units. As I mentioned before, it is harder to sell a pre-construction unit because people cannot see the project, they cannot see the finished project, they cannot physically touch it. Some of the people are afraid to buy off of a blueprint, just seeing some lines on a piece of paper and hoping, that everything will be fine, right? On the other hand, like we have seen stories and we know of stories that builders, did something that was not agreed at the beginning, but their agreement is so powerful that they can protect themselves when it comes to these things. Also, horror stories when you heard people could not get the possession in time, and the builders have all the time in the world. They have these contracts set up in a particular way that they can, I'm not going to say manipulate time, but they can definitely extend the length of time. If you have been in situations like that, please comment below. I would love to know more. But now let's get into the commissions and what I mean exactly. Okay, so in the period of time when we were going to, we had all kinds of different caliber realtors, agents, brokers, right? They did all kinds of promises. So these promises were like, okay, so I'm getting a little bit more of a commission, so I will kick back some of my commissions. Okay, so whatever they do behind the scenes is none of your business, none of my business, nobody's business. But check this out. This is the letter that I got, and I will post it right on the screen so you can read it, right? So the letter says, dear, accounting department, sir and madam, refund of commissions paid a sale off. And then we go into, like, this was a project here in Mississauga, 2020 Towns, was located at 2020 Camilla Road in Mississauga, Ontario. So my client purchased this particular unit back in January 15th, 2020. So we're talking 4.5 years ago. Okay, so how the structure works is, there are different times before my client would get the occupancy and firm up on the, actually get the unit, firm it up and get it. So there could be, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, X years, but there are thresholds when these buyers have to provide their deposits. Like you have heard that before, 2.5%, 5%, 5%, but usually it's a 20% total before occupancy. Now, on our end as realtors, as these deposits get deposited, there's another part of the agreement for us saying, okay, halfway through, we will pay out an amount to you as a realtor. And it's fun, right? Because, after, 30, 60 or 90 days, you get, a quarter or a half of that percentage of commissions. Then at the occupancy, when your client gets that particular unit, you get the rest. Very simple. But this is what is happening right now. So in my case, very straightforward, very simple. I got paid the commission. My client signed on January 15, 2020. He had a 10-day cooling period. He firmed up on the deal, gave the deposit. As he was going along, this is what happened. I got paid the commissions, right? And it says right here, please be advised that your client X purchaser entered into agreement of purchase or sale for the above referred stack townhome project. The purchaser has now executed a mutual release and received a full deposit refund with interest. Okay, so my client got out of the deal because that was the agreement between the developer and the builder. But check out the second part. As per the term of your cooperating agreement, you are required to refund any commissions amount paid in the transaction if it's not completed. You have been paid a total of X, including HST. So which means now I'm liable to return this particular commission in full to the developer because the deal did not close, right? Mutual release gone. But in case if you had the monkey business done with your realtor, so let's just for argument's sake say that this commission was $10,000. Boom, $10,000. And then your realtor says, listen, as soon as I get it, I'll give a kickback and I give this and I give that. So if your realtor gave you a kickback, right, and they receive this particular letter, guess what's gonna happen? They will pick up the phone and they will beg for that commission because they gave it away. So now, unless they wanna lose money and they wanna pay out of their own pocket, like I don't know what the arrangement was between you guys, but expect 1000% your realtor calling you back and begging for their commissions. So usually the buyers, like this was not the case in my case because I never gave my commissions to the buyers. I had never had these circumstances where I gave this and then that and like all of the above, right? But so many. So guess what's gonna happen? Hundreds of these units are gonna go belly up. In case if that realtor promised and delivered on that promise and gave you that because they received the check and they're giving you the kickback, whatever they want to call it, guess what's gonna happen? Now they're calling you back for the kickback back, right? I have no idea, excuse me, I have no idea how that will work because this particular money from 2020, so that's 4.5 years ago, I spent a long time ago, right? So many backlogged commission, checks, projects, developments, buyers, sellers, agents, you name it, are gonna go into, I don't know what, cycles or whatever you want to call it. Now, like, you know, agents are going to be dealing with brokerages are going to be dealing with developers, with buyers. If there are kickbacks, it's gonna be a zoo. So prepare to call your agent if you had a mutual release already, if you had a kickback already, prepare to call them. If you call them and they don't pick up the phone, you know what's up. Because most of the agents nowadays did not even renew their license. So they're out of the game completely and all together. So they came in for a phase and they're out. So I hope you like this video. If you are dealing at this matter or you know somebody that does, please share this video. Maybe it will be good value to them. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe, and see you all next time. Thanks for watching.